What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? We in the building. What's the word? Everybody hitting Ton Dog up and they saying, yo, Ton, I love you. I love you too. I love you too. What is this? Baby daddies. What's going on with this? Let me see what's happening. Man charged in murders of a woman, baby, and husband. All right. Looks like we got some conversations that we got to have on after hours tonight. What's up, family? You did, Ari. You made it just in time. Good afternoon. What up, Lex? Lex is in the building. Yo, let me just level set here for a second. What's up with all of the girls getting prettier? I don't know if all of the women is getting prettier or if they just so happen to be the ones that's in my chat or what. But I don't know what that is. It's like the ladies love AD and they getting prettier, you know? And life is good. Like, what's up, Onaka? What's up, baby girl? I got a notification last night. Good morning. Good people, what's good? C Docker, now I can earn my money through AI too. I got a notification last night, or this morning anyways, and it says, congratulations, Anton. You've hit your sleep goals. I said, let me give myself a round of applause. I sleep with my Apple Watch on. Some people was like, yo, Anton, why would you sleep with your Apple Watch on? I can't sleep with a watch on. You adjust. I've learned to sleep with my Apple Watch at night because it monitors my sleep patterns. Yo, we need to start leveraging technology more for than just sending Instagrams. You know what I'm saying? For sending DMs. You know, technology is more than just Instagram DMs and trying to holla at chicks and toxicity. We need to leverage this stuff for the stuff that it's meant for. And so I hit my sleep goals last night. And so I was excited about that. We're not going to live stream for 3 hours. We're going to what's up, Mrs. G? We're going to live stream for a little less than that. What's up, Miss G? We're going to live stream for a little less than that. I got to, you sleep with yours on too, Sabrina? Hey, Dunn, what about you? Sleep with K Cooper, you sleep with yours on? Okay, so I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. All right. That's what's up. I gotta before we get me see something real quickly. Let me see something. Listen, when it's some people that y'all don't like, let me say this. When it's people that y'all don't like, y'all don't have to sick me on them. Y'all don't have to sick me on them when it's people that y'all don't like. You know what y'all should do? Let me give y'all a word of advice. Y'all want to know what y'all should do when y'all don't like somebody? I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all should do when y'all don't like somebody. Stop watching them. That's it. Just stop watching them. If you don't care for somebody, I am not going to sick every single person that y'all don't necessarily care for. I'm not going to sick everybody that y'all don't care for. If y'all don't like somebody, or if y'all don't necessarily care for them, or if they say something that don't necessarily rock with you, then you know what? You can come over here and start watching me or watch some more Anton Daniels videos. Stop watching people that y'all don't necessarily rock with. Stop giving them views and visibility. Bring that over here, boy. You know, but I got a doctor's appointment at 3 p.m. Eastern. Concierge doctor. Let me make a recommendation for all of y'all that's leveling up and getting to a certain level. All right. Some things I'm gonna speak to that is more aligned with everybody, and then there's some things that I'm gonna speak to when it comes to people getting to getting to the starting line, getting out of debt or whatever. But when you get to a certain level, what up, legitimately crooked? When you get to a certain level, can I make a recommendation for y'all? It's gonna be the best thing ever. Get a concierge doctor, but not just a concierge doctor that you can visit on your own. Hunt and have your people. Every man, I believe, at some point need an assistant. Okay. First of all, guys, get an assistant. I've been telling y'all this for years. I'm gonna remind you again. Get an assistant, preferably two. If you can't afford one will be provided for you. No, this is not your Miranda rights. No, if you don't want to pay somebody to be your assistant, then make sure you get your girl to be an assistant. Tell your girl, tell your wife, tell your chick, tell the chicks that you messing with or whatever. Put them to work. Put them to work. People get so offended. Like I said last night, yeah, man, Q done made me a lot of money and all of this, Island Girl Q, whatever. They said, that sound like pimping. No, it sounds like this is what men do and this is what women do. Women bring value to men and then men return value to women. Y'all so used to trying to equalize and trying to be so politically correct. No, put them to work. Y'all keep asking what these chicks bring to the table. Put something on the table for them to do. I think it's a worthy conversation of a woman that says that this is what I want. But look, any woman that's going to be around me, you're going to have some purpose. I'm just going to tell you. Aaliyah, any woman that comes around me, we going to figure out how to get you working, how to get you to get some money. And you're going to have to bring that to daddy. Come bring it to daddy so we can bust that down. I got the infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? I got the wave. You got some additional talent that we need to leverage that you're not using effectively. I see women differently, bro. I do. I genuinely see women beyond beautiful. I do. I see women differently. When I see women, I see dollar signs. When I see women, I see money. I see productivity. I see leverage. I see deployment. And so the first thing that I see when I see a woman, don't like, especially if she's pretty, beautiful, I'll be like, oh, I wonder what her mind is like. I wonder what how, if she lazy. I'm trying to figure out if she ready to go and get this money, if she's submissive, if she's obedient, if she could be leveraged for her talents because I feel like she might be being underutilized. So I'm gonna have a conversation with you, and then I'm gonna say, I'm gonna ask you. I'm the first time that you talk to me on the phone. Every woman knows this. If you've ever talked to me on the phone outside of a coaching call, and I've called you and I said, okay, listen, I'm gonna reach out to you, make sure you got your phone on at this time, and I got in touch with you. The first thing that I'm gonna say is, so what you working on? What's your objective? What you looking to get out of this situation? What are you looking to get out of this? Do you want to just hang around? You want to grow? You trying to go to the next level? What are you trying to get out of this? What's your purpose? Why you reach out to me? Why you ain't reach out to this person? Why you ain't reach out to that person? What's your home situation look like? What's your capacity? What's your schedule? How often can you be here? That's the first thing I'm going to ask you. I don't want to know whether you got a boyfriend. I'm not inquiring to see whether or not what kind of, I don't care. I'm not interested in talking about nothing with regard to what your situationship is. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm trying to figure out, so what you working on and what's your skill set and what's your situation and how can I because if I can't use you, if I can't leverage you, if I can't figure out how it is that we can get money together, then what we talking about? Because time is money. What we doing? We going to get some money or what? Sabrina, you know it's true. Are we gonna go figure out how to get on vacation? We gonna figure out how to get this money. We gonna figure out how to put ourselves in a better position. We gonna figure out how to leverage this social media stuff. Or what? I'm gonna see you. I'm coming back to DC. I'm coming back. I'm always in DC. I'm coming back to DC. I'm gonna let you know when I come back to DC. So if your goal, if your goal is on some, relationship type stuff, I'm over 40. You know what I'm saying? What I know for sure, and two things is for certain. Yes, I do, Aaliyah. I plan on fixing you. I'm gonna fix that. What I know for sure, and two things is for certain, is that box is plentiful. And so that's nothing that you should chase. That's nothing that you should prioritize. That shouldn't even be your goal. Your goal should be to build with people that's going in the direction that you're going in. Your goal should be to build with people that's going in the direction that you're going in. That's it. And if y'all can't get no money together, what y'all sitting there talking on the phone for? You getting to know her? Like, and I'm not even talking about me right now. I'm talking about you. Like, if you can't say, hey, listen, can you take care of this for me? Hey, what do you think about this? If you can't show her your schedule and she start putting stuff together more effectively, if you can't, you know what I'm saying, put her in a position where, hey, listen, what you got going on? Okay. Like, I would like, you know what I would like for guys to start doing? You know what I want y'all to start having a conversation about? Because I told y'all last night, I'm going solutions oriented. I've had conversations in every which way about 50-50 relationships, all of that stuff. But I'm about my bag, right? So if you can't sit there and say, okay, listen, what's your credit situation looking like? All right, so this is what we gonna do. And this is you talking to a woman that you ultimately are courting, right? And then you wind up getting into a relationship with her. If you can't sit there and tell her, listen, you need to get your credit utilization down so that we can then increase your buying power and then be able to expand the business that we already profitable in, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? If y'all ain't having conversations, because see, I don't necessarily, she shouldn't be trying to figure out what you do for a living. She should try to figure out what type of character you have, and then you should be trying to figure out what value she can add to you, right? So if y'all are engaged, which means that y'all been in a relationship for a long time, and you willing to take a risk, understanding that if you take this risk or you make this investment, then it could set me back. If she not then in a position to where if you take this risk, it don't work out, to where you can then leverage her profile over the next 5 to 7 years because she got good credit separately from your good credit. And so y'all basically got multiple different chances to carry each other when it comes to your financial profile and who you are. If you can't leverage that, then what are y'all talking about? Oh, I love you. Let's go to see. You want to ride some roller coasters? You want to go build some romance? You want some balloons? You want some candy or something? I'm trying to figure out what your situation is. So, because if you can't figure it out for her, send her to me, and I know how to figure out how to get money to get. Okay, so wait, you on this type of space? All right, cool. So what we gonna do is, I want you over here, and I want you to be able to take advantage of this. So take care of this, and then when you're done with it, come and revisit me, and we gonna figure out how to do this and put this together. Because if you can't figure out how to leverage all of her talents, then I'll do it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm with it. Care nothing about no box. I don't care nothing about nothing. What? Don't get on out of here with that. But that's just me. I think differently. I know people gonna disagree with it. And that's cool. I'm not looking for you to agree with me because I don't necessarily do business with you anyway. Only people that I want around me is the people that can go out there and get me some money. That's it. All of that extra junk, you can have that. I'm good. Let me give a shout out to Spence. Oh, yeah, I was saying, get you a concierge doctor. Before I read the super chats and the cash apps, get you a concierge doctor. When you get to a certain level, you need to start getting people that will come to you. Now, there's certain people that can't come to you. You can't get the dentist to come to you because they got all of the equipment inside of the dentist's office, right? But when I do my doctor's appointments, right after my doctor's appointment or right after my live stream, they park in a parking spot designated. They come into my studio or my office or my home. We get all of that done, blood work, urine, tests. They come in, they take care of business. It's so much more convenient. And it's not even that expensive, to be honest with y'all. So when y'all get there, make sure y'all get there. Mike, that dude, I appreciate you, Mike, that dude, for holding me down. Thank you for holding me down, big dog. Spencer Campbell, thank y'all, both of y'all on Cash App. I appreciate you. Thank you. Also, my first super chat of the day is Lex. Lex, please, in the building. Shout out to Lex. For love and support, AD, by the way, this body is body. The gym is such an investment. Bring it to daddy. Bring it to daddy. I like Lex. So refreshing. It's so refreshing. I done had you in the fold for a long time. You know what? I got to start getting on this type of thing. I've been so busy, I ain't been able to take care of business. We'll talk later on today, Lex. Anyways, y'all ready to get started with the show? We got a lot to cover today, so we got to get to it. And we got after hours tonight. So for those of y'all that want to be entertained and y'all want to have some group conversations with some intelligent people and some beautiful ladies, make sure you tap into after hours tonight on the after hours channel, which will be changing soon, and I will keep y'all up to date on that. All right. Jason A-Team in the building says, AD, there's nothing better in life when you meet a pretty girl and find out she's sweet and intelligent. We got something to work with there. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not really into airheads. You know what I'm saying? I like people that got real visibility on how it is that they trying to look. See, it's a lot of guys that's out there. They say, I don't want a woman that make more than me and all of that stuff. Well, where's she at? Send her to me. I don't want no woman that's career driven and focused. I take them. I take them. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And in that sense, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? She ain't submissive. All right, we'll send her here. We'll figure out how to make it work. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure I can figure that out. Anyways, let's get to it. So first things first on the list, I want to revisit a conversation that we were having about the Oakland, the Bay Area. So I recently did a live stream where I explained to y'all these young neurosurgeons and lawyers and these future doctors right here had a lapse in judgment. Okay. I see a lot of these guys, I see them on this screen, and it looks like it's about 25 of them, and they all got on black Nike Tech hoodies and joggers, and they in the streets. So these young carpenters and electricians and anesthesiologists had a lapse in judgment where they felt compelled to go and do a smash and grab around the Bay Area. And they couldn't get out of the store, and they shot the doors off, and they all ran and jumped inside of the car. Here, let me remind you. Let me bring you up to date.
Several people have been arrested after a major smash and grab robbery in Northern California. Police say nearly 25 people were involved in the San Ramon robbery, stealing nearly $1 million worth of merchandise.
Reporter Francis Wang from our sister station in San Francisco has more on the brazen theft, which was also caught on video.
So when they went in, they basically took over the store.
It was a Monday afternoon when San Ramon police say nearly 25 suspects, at least 3 armed.
Now, see, they're in there pointing guns, coming in with pickaxes. They had a plan. They had a strategy, well executed. They got bags. You see the bag boys, and it's all in waves, right? It's in waves. You got the guns, and then you got the pickaxes and the hammer boys, and then you got the bag boys running in behind, and then they got the drivers that's standing there with the cars out there. All right, so I want y'all to remember this. I'm gonna bring y'all up to speed on what happened.
With guns, stormed Heller Jewelers at City Center Bishop Ranch.
The crowbars and the pickaxes, and basically taking whatever jewelry was available.
Cell phone video shows the suspects locked inside of the store, at least one firing a shot to break the glass door open. Police tell ABC 7 News this was a security measure put in place after the store was robbed 2 years ago. Now, a security guard must press a button to let people out.
What ended up happening was once the suspects went in, the door locked behind them.
Police credit a 2023 grant for organized retail theft with helping them respond quickly. A newly acquired drone captured the suspects trying to flee. 6 getaway cars.
That's pretty weird. It seemed like the security guard would press the button to let people in, not necessarily keep them locked in. Like, I don't want you in here with me. Get out. That might have been a little backwards. Again, why would the system be set up to where you have to press a button to let somebody out instead of pressing a button to let them in? You know what I'm saying? If we pressed the button to let them in, that might have prevented them from stealing $1 million worth of jewelry. It looked like it should have been the opposite, but neither here nor there. Just giving y'all an update. So this is what previously happened.
Cars were waiting about 100 feet away in the valet area.
Good morning, Earl to Pearl here.
All the suspect vehicles, as well as all the suspects entering, leaving their cars and entering their.
Officers pursued the suspects until the chase posed a danger to the public. But with help from nearby law enforcement and detailed footage of the suspects' actions, San Ramon police were able to quickly arrest 7 of the nearly 24 involved. All 7 are from Oakland, ranging in age from 17 to 31, and are believed to be connected to similar crimes across the Bay Area.
This is not their first time doing something like this.
So far, police have recovered 2 guns and some jewelry left behind. Many of the getaway vehicles had been reported stolen. Despite the arrest, the group still managed to escape with roughly $1 million worth of goods.
Definitely a well-orchestrated event that requires a lot of investigation on the back end.
Police warn that the group won't stay hidden for long, and when they're caught, it could be the key to solving several crimes in the region.
And again, that was reporter Francis.
So, bringing you guys up to speed on what happened. So you had several of these future anesthesiologists and neurosurgeons breaking and smashing and grabbing, and obviously they have a footprint. So it never just plays out once. It always plays out over and over again until somebody gets caught. And then when somebody gets caught, the goal is to have them snitch and to get everybody else caught. So I wanted to bring you guys up to date on what happened with several of these people that wound up getting caught.
The first of at least 20 suspects who stormed, ransacked, and robbed a San Ramon jewelry store made his first court appearance.
Yeah, not only does he face conspiracy and robbery charges, the judge set bail at $8 million.
I remember when it used to be a wave across the United States of America. I remember Jay-Z was a huge advocate for reducing bail and to have no bail. They are slapping this dude with $8 million bail.
NBC Bay Area Jody Hernandez was in court today as he entered a not guilty plea.
The DA appears to be throwing the book at the suspect, charging him with 14 felonies for that brazen jewelry store robbery. But according to the man's attorney, he insists he wasn't at the incident at all.
Big staff, he's innocent. That's exactly right. He was not there. He's innocent.
Despite those claims from a supporter, 27-year-old Jimmy McRae is facing a slew of serious felony charges for his alleged role in the terrifying takeover robbery of Heller Jewelers in San Ramon last week. Prosecutors say he was part of a conspiracy with at least 20 others.
Tito Smile says it's 10%, so it's really $800K. Yeah, who grandma putting up their house for that? You risking it for Jimmy Crackcorn? What was his name? Jimmy Ray Simon? Who is risking it for Jimmy? Who grandmama gonna risk her house to put up for Jimmy and her savings in her 401k and giving that to the bail bondsman? I don't know nobody that's willing to do it. If you're willing to risk it for $800K, then go ahead and knock it out. Knock yourself out.
To storm the store, breaking display cases and stealing $1.7 million in jewelry. Prosecutors say someone in the group fired a gun to break through the store's door that had automatically locked, trapping the mob to make their escape.
The vehicles that they arrived in and the vehicles that they used for the getaway were alleged to be stolen cars.
Of course they were stolen.
We know that the amount of jewelry that was taken is estimated to be $1.7 million.
The prosecutor told the judge they found some of the stolen jewelry on Ray when they arrested him. The prosecutor says,
so he got the jewelry on him. They got his profile. They got everything. But as usual, you're going to get a strong woman. He wasn't there. He don't know nothing about it. Well, you know how we can get this reduced. Listen, baby. Listen. Just relax. Hey, what do you want? Want something to drink? Need a Moscato? What do you want? Hey, somebody go and get her something to eat real quick. What do you want? Just tell them what you want to eat. So listen. I believe you. I believe that you wasn't there. I do. But unfortunately, the evidence says otherwise. So in order for us to prove that it's not you, push over the piece of paper. Shh. Give her a pen. There you go. What do you want me to do with that? I need names. I need some names. Otherwise, we're going to have to charge you with 14 felonies. And unfortunately, the place that you're going to, because look, honestly, they pretty savage to the place that he's going to. But for a person that looks like him and Jimmy with the good hair, they're going to put some lipstick on him. What do you mean? I'm just the prosecutor. I'm just the investigator. I'm just the police. But I've heard that they make sure that day two, he better have some lipstick on him. And it's a lottery. It's a lottery on which cell he's going into. And it's some guys that have been in there for a long time. And considering that he got 14 felonies, he going to level 5. And level 5, they got to have a bunkie. And when they have a bunkie, for him, he got good hair. They ain't going to make him grow his hair out, and they're going to make it put it in the ponytail. So what I'm thinking is names, addresses, nicknames, usernames, Xbox names, PS5 names. I'm thinking that you want to give everybody name up right now. And we need to spread this out amongst everybody instead of him just going down for something that you said he wasn't there for and didn't do. Now, you can stand tall, but we going to catch them anyway eventually. And then, listen, you got 35 minutes to give me a name. Otherwise, if we start catching other people, deal is off the table. You know they're going to start singing. Listen, it only take one person to start singing. It only take one. You catch one, you catch 24. You got to catch them all. It's like Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Got to catch them all. I'm telling you.
So far, $200,000 worth of the jewelry has been recovered, and only 4 people have been arrested.
Obviously, they feel they can do it and get away with it because there's not sufficient consequences. Unacceptable.
Community activist Edward Escobar came to court to watch the hearing. He says he's fed up with all the smash and grabs. He's calling on the governor to call in the California National Guard and pleading with local leaders to get tougher on crime.
Enough is enough.
Once someone is apprehended for these types of crimes, please understand that the district attorney's office will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law.
And B-Rock, look at them counts. Jimmy Mac Ray. His name is Jimmy Mac Ray. Oh, he was born to be a criminal. They named him for criminal activity. Date of birth, 1998. You ain't even 30. You prime real estate inside of the prison system. B-Rock says you got to be the first one to snitch and that many people. Hey, I know them all. That's a fact. Count 1, count 2, count 3, count 4, count 5, count 6, count 7, count 8, count 9, count 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 felonies. Oof. Jimmy Mac Ray, 14 felonies. Let me see something real quick. I don't think that's him. That can't be him. Got to be somebody else. How old is Jimmy Mac Ray? This is probably him. So let me see something. Oh, I found him. All right, so we got to put together our context clues. All right, so in 2020, all right, a man was charged with a robbery of a TV cameraman at a Berkeley synagogue. So he'd been robbing for a long time. TV cameraman was setting up a shoot when a man with a gun rushed in to take the news station's $25,000 camera. All right. 22-year-old Hayward man has been charged with robbery after authorities say he took this camera from a TV cameraman outside of Berkeley's congregation synagogue in August. This was in 2020, September 15th, 2020. Middle of the pandemic, he's robbing cameramen. All right. And he has a very unique name. Video surveillance, they caught him, helped Berkeley police identify Jimmy Mac Ray as the suspect. All right. Ray used the gun to rob a television news cameraman. Newsman has been filming a segment about an incident of arson in a garbage can. Surveillance video helped him crack the case. So he was out there robbing people back then. Okay. This is him. Jimmy Mac Ray. This is Jimmy Mac Ray. All right, so he's already been in the news. This is his hey, you like how my investigative work just started to work? This is his mugshot. All right, now Anton, how do you know this is the Jimmy Mac Ray that is arrested and charged with 14 felonies? Well, we have to use our context clues. So, it says that his date of birth is 2/20/1998. That would make him 27 years old. Okay. 27 years old, aside from the fact that he has a unique name that his mother decided that she wanted to give him a criminal name that was going to land him in prison for the rest of his life. Okay, cool. All right, so let's start to use our context clues. Jimmy McRae, 27 years old, and this is in 2020 in California, might I add. And also on top of that, it just so happens to be in the same area, in the same county, in the same state. The Alameda County District's Attorney's Office. So it's in the same area, the same county. He was already charged. He remained in custody in jail with a bail of $270,000, and he was scheduled to enter a plea on September 25th in East County Hall of Justice. So Jimmy has been around for a while. All right. Other found items related to the robbery as well. About an ounce of methamphetamine, so you meth it. And when they searched his home. This is one of the reasons why he got an $8 million bail. He was on probation at the time of his arrest and has one strike. So this is 2 strikes right here. This robbery that he had. And then this is strike 3. Strike 3. And that's why he getting 14 felonies, $8 million bail. And he's probably going to get close to a life sentence. So if he ain't snitching, he better get to it. He better get to it. Jimmy decided, because back then in 2000, look, check it out. He's 27 now because he was born in 1998. It's 2025, 27. This was 2020. 5 years ago, he was 22 years old when he robbed. And this is Jimmy. All right. So I would like for everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even showing anything right now. He was 22 years old, 22-year-old Hayward man. September 20th is when it happened 5 years ago. He's 27 today. And he remains in custody. And he's actually on his 3rd strike. He's on his 3rd strike. Because according to documents, he was on probation at the time of the arrest, and he already had 1 strike. This was a 2nd strike, and now this is the 3rd strike, and so he's facing $8 million bail and 14 felonies. In real time, we just cracked the case. We just cracked the case. He better get the snitching. He better get the snitching. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why people have fatigue. Why people are fatigued. They are fatigued in California. They are fatigued in Miami. They're fatigued in New York, Chicago, and they are fatigued in Japan. This is why people are fatigued. Jimmy decided that Jimmy wanted to do what Jimmy wanted to do. And Jimmy didn't change his life around. He been doing stuff, robbing people, smashing grabs. And now Jimmy is the first to get caught and everybody going to jail. Everybody going to jail. Jimmy could have been a productive member of society, but Jimmy wanted to be a smash and grab king and a robbery king. Make sure you guys hit a like to the out, please. And hey, listen, hold me accountable. Anton, he's always holding black people. I didn't know it was going to be a black guy. I just knew it was smash and grab. And we just figured it out in real time. I didn't know. Jimmy gone. Jimmy gone. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe. Jimmy gone. Ain't nothing we can do for Jimmy. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Are y'all not a part of the Patreon? If you are not a part of the Patreon, make sure. Actually, you know what? Hold off on that. Hold off on the Patreon. Join tomorrow. Best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. Join the Patreon tomorrow, all right? Champagne TV and 88 Grey Goose says, have you heard the baby mama drama with Jazz Lee and Chris? Who, I'm sorry, Champagne TV, is Jazz Lee and Chris. I have no idea who Jazz Lee and Chris is. Who is Jazz Lee and Chris? Baby mama drama? I don't believe in that. Rebuke that. Rebuke that. I don't know who Jazz Lee and Chris is. I'm sorry. Us government employees loving these shutdowns, free time off, and always back pay. Yeah, we're going to get to that. I'm going to talk about that. King Blessings says, what up, though? I appreciate you, King Blessings. Butter Love says it's also a crime to be in possession of stolen property, even though you're not the one who stole it. He gone. This is third strike. He gone. Wait until they go through his cell phone. Sherlock Daniels in the house. What up, though? They call me Mr. Bibbs. Aaliyah, she got that love. And then she going to be abrasive, and then she going to love you again. She says, we love an investigative king. That's the one. That's the version of you that I like. That's the version of you that I like. That's my New York baddie over there. Jimmy about to be a Jenny. Armando says, yo, AD, good morning. Would really appreciate if you took a look at my work content. And let me know what I can improve on to take this to the next level and help my brand, willing to pay and take the risk. All right. Send me an email and I'll try to check it out. Send me an email. You know what I'm saying? Those New York girls, they different. Y'all ready to get on to the next thing? Oh, one thing that I do want to have a conversation with y'all about before we go over to the next thing is they not messing around with y'all. So I made a suggestion. I'm going to just spend 10 minutes on this part. I made a suggestion the other day because I was disgusted and I was aggravated at what's going on out here in these streets. And I said, listen, we can't keep having y'all breed monsters, and we need to start holding the parents accountable for the things that the children are doing and participating in. And you said, and everybody clutched their pearls and they said, no, AD, you can't be saying it. And I said, yes, I can. Yes, I can. We need to hold the parents accountable for breeding these Jimmies. Why would you name your kid Jimmy Mac Ray anyway? But neither here nor there. I said we have to start holding the parents accountable for breeding these monsters. Everybody start clutching their pearls and everybody start getting aggravated about it. But Philadelphia decided that they wanted to do something about it. I think this is over in Philly, if I'm not. Yeah, Philadelphia said they want to do something about it. Let me show you.
A string of car break-ins over the weekend has now led to charges against 3 suspects and several of their parents. Police in Gloucester City arrested a 16, 17, and 19-year-old over their alleged involvement in a series of burglaries early Sunday morning. But when police charged the teens, prosecutors opted to also hold their parents to account, accusing them of failing to supervise their children. New Jersey correspondent Chris Hartman has the details tonight.
3 arrests were made after the alleged thefts from vehicles, but the parents of the juvenile suspects were also charged. Police say it's an effort they've been using for quite some time to cut down on juvenile crime. It was early Sunday morning, around 1:30. Surveillance video shows 3 people walking near vehicles in the Highland Park section of Gloucester City. Police say it was these 3 who were arrested a short time later for breaking into cars and stealing things. You can see one trying to access cars in a driveway across the street, running from the house when a light goes on. Denise Glassman says her son-in-law's car was hit, left unlocked on Saturday evening.
That's when he called the police and found out that they had got his car along with all the other cars on the street.
She says credit cards were stolen out of it, and his bike was also stolen out of the driveway.
His kids were upset. My grandchildren are very scared now that there's going to be somebody coming to take their things.
Police say several vehicles were burglarized over the weekend. 3 suspects were taken into custody. 2 juveniles from Camden, 16 and 17 years old, and 19-year-old Wesley Hunter from Cherry Hill. Hunter had outstanding warrants and was turned over to Camden County Police. The juveniles were released to their parents, who were also charged with failure to supervise their child.
If somebody came to my house and said, my kids did something wrong, I would take responsibility. Absolutely. These parents need to take responsibility.
The police chief says the charge typically involves an appearance in municipal court and likely a fine. Folks in the neighborhood say they're relieved to hear about the arrest, but are still taking precautions.
So between the dogs and the Ring camera, we just watch out for each other, you know.
I am a fan. The only thing wrong with this is I believe that there need to be more severe penalties. The only thing wrong with this is I believe that there needs to be more severe penalties for the bad actors and the people that are doing things that are bad for the community. That's the only thing wrong. We need to start charging the parents. Oh, Anton, what do you mean charge the parents? Some parents, they be at work, or some parents be doing this, or some parents doing that. Well, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. That is the problem of them, because who wants their stuff burglarized? Who wants to have their cars broken into? Who wants to be dealing with a situation where people have been destroying and tearing up things for an extended period of time, and nobody is being held as a result of it? Nobody is held accountable as a result of it. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Who should pay for that? Should the taxpayers pay for that? Should your kids pay for it whose bikes got stolen? Who should pay for the things that your nasty, ugly, raggedy kids are doing that is destroying the culture and the neighborhood? Who should pay for that? Oh, Anton, but some people are single mothers or whatever. That sounds like a personal problem to me, because you shouldn't have them if you can't raise them right. If you're not willing to listen. If you're not willing to be 100% accountable and responsible for what is happening with your children, then you should not have them. You should not have children at all. I'm sorry. This is not society's fault. This is not everybody else's fault. This is not everybody else's responsibility for what happens to your child. You should be 100% responsible for what your child is doing out here in these streets at 1:30 a.m. on a school night. It's a school night. What your kids doing out here at 1:30 a.m. in a school night? Bro, if I had got caught doing some stuff like this when I was younger, I'm going to say something a little bit more controversial. And I know that the majority of y'all are not going to agree with me, but hear me out. Hear me out here, okay? Hear me out. I believe that parents should have a longer leash, more authority, and more leeway to do with their kids what they want to do to them when it comes to discipline. I believe, listen, this is the Millionaire Morning Show. Anton has some new sponsorships that I'm working on, so I have to be careful with my words. But let me just read between the lines and make it make sense for you. I believe that parents should be able to go way, way, way further. Way, way, way further in dealing with their children as they see fit when they don't meet the expectations. I don't really think there should be much autonomy over how a parent disciplines their kid. I don't think. Oh, no. I don't. Listen, you saying get the strap. I don't think you should be limited. Maybe this is a conversation for after hours. Maybe I should put that on after hours. Let me write that down for me to go on after hours. Let me put that on after hours. I believe that parents should have a much, 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 much longer leash to where, yeah, it's limited because they can call Child Protective Services and all of this other stuff and whatever. I believe you should be able to do, bruh. Let me tell you something. I believe that what happens in your household should not have anything to do with the public's opinion of it. Man, woman, domestic violence situations, that sound like a personal problem. Domestic violence situations, y'all need to work that out. We not having police resources that go for that. Now, if you want to file something in court and all of that, then that's y'all. If you want to get out, you need some help, cool. But that sounds like a personal problem. You pick them, you deal with them. I don't think we should be having police services for stuff that happens inside of y'all households. Unless somebody is being chained up and can't move and they being locked up against their will. Outside of that, handle it. That's a y'all problem. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I believe that we could fix a lot of problems and solve a lot of issues. I believe that women would vet more effectively. I paid attention to what happened over there in Kentucky. Anonymous says you ain't getting no sponsors, big dog. That's cool. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It's a nice to have. I'm going to do my best to be on my best behavior, but I don't care. Like, honestly, it is. Like, there is nothing else that I can buy or that I would want to buy that I don't already have. I got all the cars that I want, and if I don't have it, it's already on order. I live where I want to live. I have a great space. My daughter's is straight for the rest of her life. Her college is paid for. My wife is good. All of my homes and my real estate is straight, and my studio is mine, and I own 100% of myself. It's a nice to have, but it's not. I'm not tripping about it. I'm not going to be controlled. That's the biggest thing that I keep telling these people that I'm negotiating with as I traverse over to 1 million subscribers. I think we like 16,000 away on the other channel. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. And if anybody want to ride with me, then you could just ride with me and you can benefit off of it. But I'm good for the rest of I'm not tripping. Every computer that I have is mine. My phones is mine. I don't have a AT&T payment plan or something like that. I just don't care. And so if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. But I'm going to stand on what I said. I believe that we need to remove the government out of the homes. For example,
make a day of it. It is 6:04. Well, let's get to the story from overnight. An 18-year-old man shot and
My
killed
bag chasers love
after
me.
apparently an argument with a bunch of other people.
So Morgan is live with more on what happened.
Alex, Mike, good morning. Yeah, so police, they are still early on in their investigation, but this happened just after 12:30. And like you mentioned, Mike, this all started as some type of verbal altercation, some type of argument. Police say that they received calls of gunshots on 31st and Norris Streets. When they got there, that's when they found that 18-year-old lying unresponsive in the backyard of a private home. Police say that he was suffering from gunshot wounds to his torso. He was later transported to the hospital where he died shortly after 1 a.m. And police say they believe the shooters were firing shots from several different locations in the area. Chief Small also says he believes the shooters were mid to late teens and may have fled the scene in a very light-colored SUV.
So it appears that this shooter or shooters were firing shots from many different locations in the area.
What up, OG Rihanna? I love you too.
And Norris. And where we found the victim, he was laying in the backyard of a property next to a fence in the 1900 block of North 31st Street.
So again, police are still searching for the suspect or suspects, and Chief Small says that there were several surveillance cameras in the area. So right now they're looking through all the footage. They do have about 2 witnesses. Again, those are the ones who said that they saw or heard this verbal altercation or argument going on. So hopefully we can get some answers later on in the morning. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, she is pretty. That's a pretty girl. She is a pretty reporter. Shout out to y'all in the chat for pointing that out. But this is an example. Keep your kids out the street. If we had more people, shout out to you, Tasha. I'm glad you understand that. That's why we don't censor people. If we had more parents that were more participatory inside of their children's lives, we would start to have less of this nonsense. Honestly, if you had your kids out of the streets, they wouldn't be in gangs. I did a report the other day where I think it was Friday that I did that report where they were saying that it's over 10,000 young people in gangs in New York City. What you mean 10,000 young people in gangs? You should be able to deal with your kid accordingly. If you joining a gang? You doing what? You should be, listen. You should be able to deal with your kid how you see fit. If you find out that your child is in a gang, I'm sorry. You should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able to do whatever you want. How can you have more than 10,000 people joining gangs? That means y'all just breeding soldiers to tear up the streets. You're breeding soldiers to tear up the streets. You should be able to do what you want to do. And I'm glad that the Philadelphia police is starting to charge the parents for the things that their children do. Make sure that you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of y'all beautiful super chats because I appreciate y'all. This Jimmy just paid off his student loans. Well, he going to be paying for somebody else. So he going to be giving up that commissary. And he going to be giving up a lot more. Izzy says, what do you think of the digital ID situation? What's the digital ID situation? Somebody tell me what the digital ID situation is. I'm not familiar. 50% Simp says, what up, though? Shout out to 50% Simp. Wyatt says, that's not Philly, is Gloucester? Gloucester? It's Gloucester, New Jersey. Shout out to New Jersey. Eric Wealth here says, I wonder if the single mothers is going to blame the baby daddy for not paying enough child support in court. I don't know, but I think that both parents need to be held accountable, not just the mother, both the father and the mother. That's tough because even demons have children. Well, it is what it is. Don't have children. My late mom would say, brought you to this earth, I'll take you. Oh, now you catching it. Now you understand what I'm talking about. Robert Rose says, I was watching your live about the gang's plot twist. The person in the pink was actually a girl drill rapper, Nay Benz. She is the gang leader. Listen, bro, if your baby girl winds up becoming a gang leader, you failed as a human being, not just as a parent. You are the worst of the worst. If your child, your girl, winds up becoming and joining a gang, you are the worst. You get the worst parent of the year award. You get the worst parent of the year award, flat out. Straight up, Robert Rose. Brothers Keeper says, we are your sponsors and share. Talk to him. Bag chasers. They take care of their own. We take care of our own. You know what I'm saying? Nichelle says, my mother used to dare me to call the police after a whooping, saying jail ain't nothing but 3 hots and a cot. I've been through worse. I love my mama. And see that? How we all good people as a result of the people that held us accountable? You see that, Nichelle? Christopher Evans in the building says, bring back butt whoopings and scared straight programs. Now bring back fathers. Fathers and people having children within marriage and sticking it out to make sure that they raise their children accordingly. Dark Spartacus says, do you want a t-shirt with a face or a diploma? Facts. Man, I'm telling you, bro, we can solve for 90-95% of the problems if people just are careful. It's unfortunate because children are the ones that pay for the sins of their parents. And we can actually fix 99% of the problems. Look, if you're not willing to hold it down for 18 years, then don't have children. I don't want to hear about how you feel. I don't want to hear about, oh man, she mad at me. I don't want to hear about, oh man, she don't make me feel like this. I don't want to hear about, oh man, he's a narcissist. Cool. Do your 18, 20 year sentence. Do your 2 decades. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody should be responsible for your liberal, ugly, stupid, bull-nosed, ring-wearing, latte sipping, soy milk having, almond milk. I actually like almond milk. Almond milk, big back woman / sassy son because you wanted to make sure that you was happy. Do your time. Do your time. Do your time. We don't care. Make it work. You don't like him all of a sudden because you pissed at him. You better get some different eyes then and start looking at him with the puppy eyes again. You know what, honey? I love you. I remember what I used to like about you. Go home and make it work. Go home and make it work. Go home. We don't want you. Sometimes. We don't want you. Oh, you like your latte? You can drink a latte. All right, I got you. You got your latte. You know what I'm saying? Lattes is cool. Depends on who drinking it. But go home. I do like almond milk, though. Almond milk is the stuff. That's the stuff. That's it. All right, y'all. Let's get into the next thing. What we talking about? What's next? What's happening out here?
It's a small little...
Oh, we already talked about that. All right, so hold on. Let me back up for a minute. Was that 3? Is that 3? So wait a minute. What did we talk about first? We talked about parents charged. All right. We also talked about the smash and grab kids. All right. We handled that. All right. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. I know what I want to talk about. I got it. I want to talk about this. I want to revisit this David situation because while we're on parents, I need to bring them back to the front of the congregation. While we're on parents, I need to bring them back to the front of the congregation. So I want to revisit this conversation really quickly, and I'm going to tell you why. Check it out.
Brand new video of Celeste Rivas Hernandez that completely rewrites the timeline of the case as we've come to know it has surfaced. Video was recorded at the home of Celeste's parents in Lake Elsinore, California, exactly a year ago, or a year before her body was found in the trunk of a car belonging to the rising music star named David. We had been told that Celeste went missing in April of 2024 and that her family hadn't seen her since. But this new video was recorded by a Nest camera on September 8th, 2024, which would make that 4 months after she ran away. The neighbors who provided the video to TMZ say that it shows her arguing with people who had pulled a prank on her. Take a look.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk? I ain't gonna let you talk. No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping. I ain't tripping. Nah, you tripping. Salvador, you tripping. Oh my God. Nah, cause you tripping. Move the out of here. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your over there, little girl.
So After she went missing, according to what was said and what was posted about the parents, she actually wasn't missing and she came back home. And the neighbors are the ones that submitted the video, probably sold the video to TMZ to show that she was just a little ghetto boo, a little hood rat, and she wasn't actually missing, and that she was actually caught on camera arguing with her family that had recently played a prank on her. Okay, let's continue.
Just by the very dates of this video seems to prove that Celeste visited her family at least once after she ran away for the last time. But a year and a half after the final missing person report was filed, her body was discovered in a frunk. That's the front trunk of David's Tesla. That was just 3 weeks ago. This video was just discovered as we're finally learning what's been going on behind the scenes of the investigation. The LAPD's captain and commanding officer released a statement saying that the body of Celeste Rivas Hernandez was likely in the frunk of the Tesla for a long time before it was discovered. According to Captain Scott Williams, quote, "We know for sure that Celeste Rivas Hernandez died and someone placed her body in the front trunk area of David Burke's Tesla. We know that the Tesla had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks. So it is very likely Celeste Rivas Hernandez had been dead for several weeks prior to her body being discovered." I know, you don't think it's a big deal because it's like, yeah, we know all that, right? Not really. Like, this is the police finally confirming it, and they haven't said a thing. But that really does track with our reporting last week when we spoke with a private investigator who tracked down the tow reports for this Tesla. And they show that neighbors had called police about that car on August the 26th. Police responded the next day and ticketed the car as per protocol. They got to wait 72 hours between each of the tickets they put on there. And after 3 visits, then they can tow the car.
This is getting so complicated, and there's so many twists and turns. Number one, I don't trust anybody in this situation. The only people that I think is making sense right now is the Los Angeles Police Department and the investigators. And the reason why I think that they are the ones that are making sense so far since I've been watching and observing this before it even became a national story is because they are being meticulous and careful in their investigation. They're not rushing a judgment. They doing a coroner's report. They doing an autopsy. They investigating every single lead. They uncovering everything before they charge him. And they don't want, you can tell, listen, the person that was doing the autopsy is probably super careful because they don't want to get caught up in a situation where they falsely identified the person as dying like this or dying like that. Investigators is being very intentional and meticulous in making sure that they investigate every single situation. Daryl Sanders says, I don't think that David did it. Listen, bro, you've been messing with a chick since he was 12 years old, allegedly, right? You were in a full-blown relationship with the person since they were 12 years old. They end up in your trunk of your car for months. You haven't heard from her in months. A person that you was just in a relationship with, and you're telling me that you don't think that he had anything to do or he was not aware of this girl being missing in any capacity whatsoever. My biggest issue right now, okay, is this. I believe that the parents knew exactly who she was in a relationship with and let it happen. They said that the sister was controlling the Instagram and she had the passwords and all of this stuff. And the parents knew she was talking to somebody named David, but they didn't know it was David, the singer. Get the heck out of here, bro. Bro, we have seen this too many times. Too many times. Let me know this. Just a general consensus in the chat. I have seen it with my own eyes growing up. Younger girls talking to older guys, and the parents, the mother, knew that she was talking to an older guy. Not only did she know, she let the older guy come over, spend the night. They was able to do what they wanted to do under her roof, that they were participatory in it. They knew that she was gone, that she was with him. This is not new. This is just becoming appalling to everybody that's listening to it because it's a singer and she wound up in the trunk and all of this. But this is not new. People be knowing that your daughter is in a relationship with an older guy and that she be gone for multiple different days at a time, bro. This happens in every city, in every state, in every hood, in every suburb. They be knowing, the mother and the beta father be knowing that they be in a full-blown relationship with a person that's older than them. Sometimes they even call them and be like, hey, can you pick her up from school today? Can you pick her up from school today? You're not gonna sell me or convince me that the parents just so happen to not know who the David is. Get the heck out. Who don't know who they 12, 13, and 14-year-old is talking to? Who don't know? Even if you were the most horrible parent, who don't know? So you know that their name is David, but you just don't know nothing about them, and they just can come and go as they please. Florida native says that's weird. Agreed. Don't mean that it's not common. Does not mean that it's not common. They know. They know. Women are smart. Women are incredibly smart. They know about their children. They know about their man. Women that sit there and tell me, oh man, I had a baby with a guy and I didn't know that he was like this, or I didn't know that he cheated. You did. You did. He probably cheated with you when he got with you, when you knew about it. And you thought that he was going to change. Y'all know. You know the people that you're dealing with. Y'all know. Women know. When they say that women's intuition ain't right, no, it be on. They just ignore it on purpose in order to be able to serve them until something goes wrong, and then they don't want to be held accountable for it. You know. You know the man that you're dealing with. That's why I tell guys that they don't have to lie. I tell guys that they don't have to lie all the time. Hey, man, what is you lying to her for? You ain't got to lie. She going. She going. You don't have to lie to her. Be honest with her. Hey, listen, this is my situation. It's getting a little dicey, but listen, if you want to roll, you can roll. It ain't going. They actually feel more relieved that they ain't got to pretend like it's a secret no more. They feel more relieved that they don't have to pretend like a secret. They are absolutely doing it, and they're going 100%. And it is what it is. They grown. You grown. They grown. Somebody got to make a decision. Stop. You want me to bring this on After Hours? All right, cool. I got you. After Hours, Peter Investor. They going. Let me tell you something. They going so much that I'm not sure they're going so much that, bruh, let me tell you something. When they like you, there's nothing that you can say for them not to go. And it don't matter what your situation is. If they choose, and that's why I say rules are only for guys. Rules are only for guys that they don't necessarily care for. Then they got to put a barrier to entry. Then you got to do the hurdles and jump over the cliff and buy all of this stuff. You ain't got to do all of that. Because if they like you, it really don't matter what you tell them, and it don't matter what your situation is. They going. 100%. They already know, and they already going. And they just making a decision.
The second ticket came September 3rd, and the Tesla was finally towed September 5th. So by our math, police were involved with the car for a week and a half. But the neighbors who lived nearby said the Tesla had already spent close to a month abandoned on that side road. And by the way, incidentally, it was just one street over from David's $20,000 a month mansion that his manager was renting. The Tesla was registered in David's legal name, David Burke. The 20-year-old singer has not been arrested, nor has he been named a suspect. But his friends confirmed to TMZ last week that he was indeed in a romantic relationship with a 14-year-old girl, Celeste. Social media posts indicate they may have even known each other since she was 12.
That's crazy.
And maybe even 11.
That's crazy.
Captain Williams responded to the friend's characterization by saying, quote, as far as their relationship, it would be premature for me to say anything. We are looking in.
DJ Ace Productions says, I bet you she will. I bet you she will. That's a fact. That's a fact. I bet you she will. Man, what you think? Oh man, if I say this to her, she not go. Yes, she is. If she like you, she is. Yes, she is. Women be knowing everything. Mothers know, women know, everybody know everything. So I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying this whole sob story that they selling us. Oh my God, the family is so broken up about it. Yep, I think that the family is broken up about the fact that she died and how she died and all of that stuff. I don't think that the family does not know what happened. Everybody know. Everybody know. Neighbors probably knew. You knew. Everybody know. Ain't nobody stupid. Ain't nobody stupid. My daughter breathe wrong. I'll be like, what's wrong with you? You ain't get it. I talked to my daughter. Man, listen. I seen my daughter this morning as she was leaving out to go to school, right? And I can tell if she went to bed when she was supposed to go to bed just by the first words that come out of her mouth. Hey, Dad. I said, what's going on? Oh, I said, why you look a little sluggish today? I already knew. Yeah, I just haven't been sleeping well. No, you went to bed too late. Get your butt to school. No calling off today. Get to school. I know immediately. I know what she feel like. I know what her sentiment is. I know if she's sad. I know if she's excited. I know what's going to happen. I know all of that. I know it all. And we know. Parents know. Women really know. Oh, I knew she was in a relationship with a boy named David. I didn't know it was a... Get the heck out of here. Where's she getting all them new clothes from? You ain't bought them. Oh, she was just missing. You knew where she was. You knew where she was. And that's your problem. That's a you problem. That's your fault that your daughter ended up this way. It's his problem. It's his fault for committing the crime. It's your responsibility to protect your children all day long. And I'm not going for it. Let me read some of these super chats and we're going to continue to go on with the show. You knowing everything that's going on with my daughter. Amethyst Angel says some of these parents are in gangs of their own. That's a fact too. That is a fact too. That's why the parents need to be arrested too. Carrington Love Jr. says all that just to say son at the end. Christopher Evans says, I've been saying this, blame her parents the most. Not the most because they're not the ones that killed her, but they definitely are culpable in my opinion. Nichelle says the community does not care when little girls mess with grown men as long as they have money. That's a fact. That is a fact too. Equal Opportunity Smoke says it's a setup or he is the dumbest criminal of all time. Love Curly Hair says the family knew and it's all about money. So sad. Facts. Gerald Sparrow says, I seen it 2AD, especially if the dad isn't around. Facts. Mike Razor says he might owe somebody money and they killed her because he was out of town. Nah, I'm not going for that one. Not going for that one. Carrington Love Jr. says, as facts, Anton, kids can't hide nothing. You can tell if their 3 left toe is hurting with no examination. Women know everything. Facts. Mr. Lot, my dog in the building. Shout out to Mr. Lot. Says the family was like, we knew it was David, but not that David. Like, come on. Come on. You ain't know it was the weirdo kid, dude singing these crazy songs that's releasing videos of women that look just like your daughter in it? Okay. All right. Right. Okay. I got you. I want to talk about this government shutdown. Let's get over into the government real quick. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
It is 5:32, something we are keeping an eye on this morning. A partial government shutdown may just be hours away now. During a last-minute meeting at the White House, President Trump and congressional leaders failed to broker a deal. Doug Luzader joining us live now from Washington, D.C. this morning. And Doug, as we look at this, what are the chances of avoiding this shutdown?
We're expecting to see the Senate take another crack at this short-term extension later today, but Democrats are expected to block that, making a shutdown almost inevitable. Democratic leaders emerged from the West Wing of the White House yesterday, empty-handed and casting blame.
The government shuts down. It's because Republicans have decided to shut the government down and hurt the American people.
About the only point of agreement, the meeting between the president and congressional leaders from both parties appeared to go nowhere.
Their hypocrisy is just breathtaking, and it's shameless, and it was on display in the Oval Office.
Republicans want a short-term deal that continues current funding as is while negotiations continue. Democratic leaders, under pressure to stand up to the president, are demanding more money for public broadcasting and a renewal of COVID-era health insurance subsidies. Both sides are taking a risk because voter anger can point in either direction.
Let me see something. What do they want?
Republicans want a short-term deal that continues current funding as is while negotiations continue. Democratic leaders, under pressure to stand up to the president, are demanding more money for public broadcasting and a renewal of COVID-era health insurance subsidies.
No. So wait a minute. The Democrats are asking, okay, see, I was looking to try to figure out, hey, is somebody being unreasonable? Is the left being unreasonable? Is the right being unreasonable? And the left want to continue all of these stations that's being subsidized by taxpayers in order to make sure that salaries is paid and that people continue to get money. And then they want COVID era incentives to continue to get the heck out of here, bro. No. Absolutely not. And see, this is why we can't come to no bipartisan agreement, because why should I agree with you doing something that ain't in alignment with what taxpayers want? Everything should be based off of what taxpayers want, not what Democrats want, not what Republicans want. No. And I heard about that too. They want health care for migrants. Why? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't even know nobody that need. No, bro. No. That era is over. It's gone. It was quite profitable era for me, but that era is gone. It's not. Democrats, honestly, I can't even understand why anybody is a Democrat at this point. What is it? What would make y'all say? What makes a person say? Because I know it's a lot of them. Listen, I know it's a lot of people that's Democrats. I know that, it's a lot of rhinos too, Republicans in name only, but in reality, you really a Democrat. You really a Democrat, especially people in my community. Why are y'all Democrats? Why are you a Democrat? I need to do a special show that asks people, why are you a Democrat? And I would like to hear, and I'm not even going to debate them. I just want to have a conversation. I'm genuinely curious. Why are you a Democrat? Why? And I know that people be afraid of me sometimes because they think that I'm going to go off on them. I was reading a comment from last night. And they said, Anton, oh my God, why won't he hold Mercedes accountable? First of all, dog, you got to get out your basement and you got to go touch grass. All right. He always a lot. Why won't he hold her accountable? What? I don't need to hold anybody accountable. I reciprocate energy. I don't know if you understand this. I reciprocate energy. When somebody comes at me wild, then I reciprocate energy. Even if I disagree with you, if you are nice about it and you cool, I reciprocate energy. It was a girl on there last night that she had said some stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with. And it was my first time seeing her and meeting her. And I didn't come at her, and I don't come at people. I don't come at anybody at this point. Honestly, like even when me and the girl got into it last week, right? The weekend before last or the show before last on a Monday, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't go off. I didn't say any of this type of stuff. When they throw shots, I started gearing up and was like, okay, well then if you want to go shots, and that's how we gonna rock out. But I'm not holding anybody accountable. I'm having conversations based off of what was presented and the facts, right? And so I'm not looking to go off on anybody, but I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious why people are Democrats. What have they have never done anything for you. They have never done anything for you. I can't think of one thing, one policy, one situation, even when Democrats were less radical, even when they were less liberal, right? Back in the late 90s, 2000s, from 2000, let's say 2000 all the way up until, I don't remember when I was no longer liberal Anton, but let's say a decade, right? Let's say we give a decade of Anton being liberal Anton, a decade and a half. Let's go a decade and a half. Let's go 2000 all the way up to, or 2001 up to 2016. And let's say you were liberal Anton, but closer to the end of that you were fighting the liberal demons and you were coming into your own and realizing, you know what? I'm really not a Democrat. All of my values are conservative and they align with Republicans. So really, I'm a Republican. I can't think of, in a decade and a half plus of being an adult at 18 years old in 2000, all the way up until I actually changed and declared myself to be a Black Republican, I cannot remember one thing that any Democrat, any liberal, any person has ever done that benefited me in any way, shape, or form. Facts. Democrats in the 90s would be considered conservative now because they were saying all of the things that conservatives are saying now. I didn't even know why we didn't vote Republican. As crazy as that sounds, I didn't know. I couldn't tell you if you had asked me back then why I didn't vote, why we wouldn't vote Republican. I couldn't tell you. And you know how I know that we are stupid and ignorant in our decision making is because I remember back then, the only thing that I can think of is, well, I'm going to vote for Al Gore because he was with Clinton. I remember being on campus, student campus, and I was like, and I remember Bush winning, and I didn't trip about it. And I was like, because I didn't even know why I was voting that way. I just did it because that's what our family voted for. I was so dumb. I was ignorant. I was an idiot. I was a straight up idiot, bro. Eric D says Trump was a Democrat in the 90s. But that's the thing, though, Eric D, is because the 90s was saying the same thing. 90s Democrats were saying the things that Republicans are saying today. Close off the borders. Tariff Chinese countries. We need to be very, very careful of whether or not we are you know what I'm saying? All of that type of stuff. All of that. Like, go back and look at the videos. I played some of them. Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, all of them. Close off our borders. We can't have illegal migrants into the country and all of this stuff. They were saying the same thing that Republicans are saying today, but it's radical today.
For public broadcasting and a renewal of COVID-era health insurance subsidies. Both sides are taking a risk because voter anger can point in either direction as shutdown signs begin popping up at government sites across the country. And ultimately, the president has some flexibility in how a shutdown rolls out. And there is already talk of permanent layoffs for federal workers.
One White House official told me that they are planning to, quote, inflict maximum pain on Democrats for this. So they are very bullish that they can come out the other side of this in a better position than their opposing party.
Yeah. Let me switch over real quick on what happens and how these rollouts and who's going to be affected, because that is information that I think that we all need. All right.
And we're just hours away from a potential government shutdown. A spending deal between Democrats and Republicans appears unlikely. Republicans are pushing for a short-term funding fix to keep the government running until November 20th. But Democrats are demanding a new bill that reverses cuts to Medicaid and prevents health insurance premiums from rising. The shutdown could have far-reaching consequences for Americans coast to coast. For more on this, let's bring in our ABC Business reporter, Alexis Christoforous. So, Alexis, let's go back in time. The last government shutdown was in December 2018 during the president's first administration. It was also the longest shutdown in U.S. history at 35 days. Back then, what were the economic impacts of the shutdown?
Yeah, Selena, you're right. So the longest shutdown in U.S. history was the most recent. It was a partial shutdown, and according to the Congressional Budget Office, it shaved 0.4% off of economic growth. Prior to that, we had a shutdown in 2013 that lasted 16 days. That was a full shutdown and actually caused economic growth to contract by 0.6%. So, the longevity of a shutdown is really key here, and whether or not it's partial or a full.
Because when people don't have no money to spend and they start staying home, it prevents, the circulation of the American dollar. When people got to stay home and they got to buckle up.
Shutdown, Selena.
Yeah, so Alexis, I know a lot depends on timing, and this time's a little bit different with these
Giving
potential
them free
mass
vacations.
firings. But this time around, what kind of economic impact could Americans expect to see?
Right, and that's what everybody's asking. How will it impact me? Well, we're going to run through a few of the ways it may impact you. I want to make very clear, though, that Social Security payments, Medicare and Medicaid payments will continue. So again, retirees and the disabled who are dependent on Social Security will continue to get paid, and those who are dependent on health benefits from Medicare and Medicaid will get paid. Now, the U.S. Postal Service is actually independent.
So Social Security, people on Social Security, they still going to get their money. Medicare and Medicaid, they still going to be funded. Postal Service is going to be, they're an independent agency that's dependent on the federal government. So they just ask for money when they continue to run out of money, and they ask for another stimulus package. I hate when people say, oh, the Postal Service is separate than the federal government. Postal Service ain't been profitable since I was born.
Independently funded, so it would not be impacted by a shutdown. And then, of course, those essential workers, U.S. military, border protection, air traffic control, and airport security workers will be on the job. However, they will be furloughed, meaning they will not be getting paid. They will get paid retroactively once the government reopens. This could mean delays if you're traveling in the not too distant future. At risk here, I want to run down these real quickly. National parks would most likely close, including any federally run museums, including the Smithsonian museums there in Washington, D.C. SNAP and WIC benefits. These are food programs that low-income and disabled folks depend on, also mothers with young children and infants. Those payments would continue, but they would fade the longer a shutdown continues. Also, passport processing will continue, but could experience big delays. You might also see delays in getting a small business loan or an FHA housing loan. And also really important here, Selena, the release of economic reports would be stopped by the U.S. government, meaning the Friday's big jobs report wouldn't be released. The inflation report due out later this month, depending on how long.
Jay Reed says, how long would a shutdown last? As long as it takes to get a deal. Could be 2 weeks, could be 3 days, could be a month.
The shutdown lasts would not be released. That leaves the Federal Reserve sort of flying blind when it comes to what to do with monetary policy and whether or not to cut interest rates at their October meeting. So I think the long and short of it is the longer it lasts, the more disruptive this government shutdown would become.
So Democrats and Republicans can't come to a bipartisan agreement to keep the government open. Democrats are asking for money when it comes to COVID era funding. Jesus Christ. Keeping NPR and public radio open and all of that stuff, even though nobody listens to it and nobody cares about it, so on and so forth. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me read some of these super chats and then I want to get into the money. All right. I want to get into the money. Amazon and Hertz. Amazon and Hertz did a new deal to where Hertz can sell used cars on Amazon. And I also want to get into homelessness. Some of the major cities over in California are experiencing up to 100 and something % rise in homelessness as far as some of the most affluent neighborhoods inside of California. So we're going to get to those two next. Jonathan Armistead. Shout out to Jonathan Armistead. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for the 20 ball. Aaliyah, A-A-L-I-Y-A-H. Black Democrats is an oxymoron. Shout out to my girl, A-A-L-I-Y-A-H. Miss Summers. Janice says, do a Jubilee. Why are you a Democrat? I'm not even sure I really like Jubilee, but that's just me. Mr. Joe says, the only thing the Democrats did right is that Obama deported 3 million illegal immigrants or illegal migrants. He was the deporter in chief. Daddy and the Caddy says, 90s Dems used to be a party of labor, not leeches. Nathan says, healthcare. Whiskey Pierre says, Anton, sir, lefties need to help, not stop America. I agree, Whiskey. All right, y'all, let's dig deep. Let's deep dive. Let's get to the money. Amazon, Hertz, new deal, and they basically pricing out dealerships. Let's get to it.
About a quarter century ago, Amazon said it wanted to sell anything and everything a person would want to buy online. Since then, revenues have grown 38,000%. Every time it sells a new product, even veteran rivals fear getting Amazoned.
I would never bet against Amazon. They effectively have unlimited resources.
Up until recently, one of the very few areas Amazon wasn't disrupting, cars. But now it is making moves. The latest deal is to help sell used cars owned by the rental company Hertz. It could be a boon for Hertz. Shares popped on the news. It could also help Amazon build up what is still a fledgling business. One loser could be dealers.
When you get a giant like Amazon retailing, the largest supply of used cars in the nation, coming from the large rental companies, it can scale and escalate very, very quickly.
Let me fast forward a little bit.
Hertz has had its share of struggles over the last several years. It filed for bankruptcy in 2020 as rental car demand crashed in the early months of the coronavirus pandemic. It relisted in 2021. Shares fell nearly 10% on the first day. Management said in 2024 it was undertaking a critical transformation. Activist investor Bill Ackman took a stake in the company in April 2025, saying it was undervalued. Shares soared.
A 4.1% position in Hertz as of December 31st. That news sending shares sharply higher in the session, as you see. I'm told from a person familiar that the stake is actually much, much higher than that.
Q2 2025, the company said, was its best quarter in 2 years.
Gil West, the CEO, would say, hey, important progress made over the past year and a half, since he's been there, but much more work to be done. They still need to get more efficient on.
Y'all hate dealers that much? I see people in the chat talking about dealers can kick rocks, all of this stuff. Y'all hate dealers that much? I actually like car dealerships. I love car dealerships. I love dealing with people and salespeople. But maybe it's just because I'm more of a people person, but I love dealerships. Y'all don't like dealerships? What don't y'all like about dealerships? What's up, Tabby? I love dealerships. I think it's going to be very, 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 very difficult. And I could be wrong. I think it's going to be really difficult for hurts to, not even hurts. I think it's going to be difficult for Amazon to transform the process. Like, I don't know how you would be able to sell used cars online. Cars are one of the rare few things, right? Cars and homes. This is why I invest in real estate, is because real estate is one of the few industries as far as owning real estate and then leveraging that to, ensure that you continue to generate revenue and profitability. And then obviously it becomes a really good tax haven and all of that stuff. Homes is one of the things that can't be upended when it comes to AI. Now, selling homes or eliminating real estate agents, or how you able to do it, how you can see it, whether or not you can actually travel, all of that stuff. Like, you can use the technology to be able to do things differently. But homes and cars are a very, very, very difficult thing to disrupt, right? And so they've been trying for years to do it. I do like the fact that you can buy a new car online, right? Because a new car is a new car is a new car, right? It's supposed to be the same. I like to actually go and see it, feel the leather, look at all of the features, all of that stuff. But Tesla has proven that it is so easy for you to be able to buy a new car online. But when it comes to used cars, I think it's stupid, because there's too much that can go wrong with it. You telling me that a fleet car that comes from the rental car company, you would be more comfortable buying that online and having it shipped to you versus actually going to see the car itself? Even when you go and find a car online, let's say, for example, when I bought my TRX, right, the Ram TRX, and I seen it online, I spotted it, and I said, okay, cool. Let me go and see the car itself. I had to see it. I had to drive it. I had to, you know what I'm saying, go through a process where I was basically, you know what I'm saying, inspecting it, look at the mileage on it, seeing whether the engine ticked, if they was hiding anything. Like, you got to actually see the car, drive it, listen to it, all of that stuff. People that buy their cars from like Carvana and stuff like that, I'll be like, y'all weird. Y'all is weird. Y'all are super weird. I don't know how they're able to do this, right? And I'm pretty sure that there's an industry for it. There's a market for it. Carvana is actually suffering. They're not even doing that well. Again, I'm sure that it's a market for it, but I would never buy a car, a used car. I would never buy a pre-owned car. Let me revise that. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I bought a classic. I bought the 96 Impala, sight unseen, but it was from a reputable dealer that has a great reputation that a lot of people that have a lot of money go to. They've never had any problem, and it was a really great experience, but that was a classic. As far as just buying a used regular car, going to buy a Hyundai, I couldn't do it, bro.
On direct operating costs, but reselling and lowering their fleet costs is also part of that.
In 2023, Amazon said it was getting into the auto retail business. First came a partnership with Hyundai, which has since expanded. The e-commerce giant so far is keeping no inventory and is not actually selling the cars itself. It's a showroom with many of the usual Amazon shopping features.
Said I gave it away though. Well, I gave it away to my brother. Actually, it's my brother's birthday today. I called him earlier this morning and told him happy birthday. So I gave it away to him. I gave it to him for his early birthday present. It stays in the family though.
Can fill out paperwork and secure financing. Pretty much do everything except take delivery of the actual car.
Amazon is really a listing service on steroids for dealers. That's the play.
The real money for Amazon, banks said, is in digital advertising, which made $56.2 billion for the company in 2024.
He clearly set that up as a strategy to go after Google and Meta. It's high margin. I think what Amazon is trying to do is capture as much data as possible on the consumer, so then they can target or provide the consumer with much more targeted advertising.
Hertz has about 560,000 vehicles in its fleet.
That's a lot of cars.
Rental companies sell these cars off after about 18 to 20 months of renting them out, although Hertz said that as of September 2025, 80% of its fleet was less than a year old.
They resell a couple 100,000 cars every year just in the U.S. And, we're talking about several $1 billion worth of inventory.
There are several ways a rental company sells off a fleet. Some cars go into auctions where dealers buy them up. Less than 10% in Hertz's case, but around 15 to 20% for the rest of the industry. Some cars are sold directly to dealers. Hertz sells much of its fleet directly to consumers. It lists cars on its own website, sells online through used car seller Carvana, and lists on sites like AutoTrader and Cars.com. The company has 45 sales locations in the US alone. It also has a rent-to-buy program.
Rent-to-buy?
Hertz and Amazon declined CNBC's request for an interview.
Rent-to-buy?
John Pasamato is a former Chrysler Plymouth dealer and an auto industry entrepreneur. In an open letter to the head of the National Automobile Dealers Association,
y'all rent to buy our cars?
said this partnership poses a threat to dealers.
Back 30 years ago, when it became very obvious that the larger rental companies were setting up retailing stores right near dealers and putting through used cars, dealers realized that. And they were selling cars cheaper than dealers could because they're acquiring them way cheaper than dealers can.
Rental car companies buy vehicles from automakers in large quantities. They get discounts. Pasamato himself was a fleet dealer. These aren't just bulk discounts, Pasamato said. There is a kind of discount called the stair-step incentive.
It's not talked about a lot. It's under confidentiality, but everybody knows they exist.
Basically, the more you buy, the bigger your discount on each vehicle. Let's say you buy 1,000. You might get 500 back a unit. Buy 5,000, you get 2,000 back. The idea is that these large fleet purchases help automakers keep production relatively consistent from year to year, and the vehicles historically would end up in the hands of dealers anyway, either through wholesale used car auctions or through direct sales.
What I see with the Hertz Amazon situation is what happened 30 years ago, but sort of on steroids, right? Now you can sell cars digitally. Now there's a web. Now you have Amazon, the biggest merchandiser retailer in the country.
The second threat is...
So essentially, Hertz and Amazon are in a position where they're basically going to take advantage of Amazon's reach. I don't know anybody personally. I'm pretty sure women will try it first. I don't know anybody personally that will be looking to buy a car from Amazon, a used car. Again, we're not even talking about a new car. Because see, with a new car, me being a car guy, I love cars. I adore cars. Cars are my thing. I don't mind doing the research. I don't mind. By the time that I get to the dealership, I already know everything there is to know about the car. And I'm just calling somebody to make my purchase. By the time I get there, I already know every single detail about that car. I've been Googling over it. I've been researching it. I've watched every single video there is to know about it. I know what the purchase price is. I know the whole process. I done already stacked for it, and I'm ready to purchase. So it might be a little bit different for me when it comes to buying a new product. But when it comes to used products, man, ain't no way in the world that you're going to get me to ever buy something used on the internet that's not a classic that I will be driving as my daily and think that that's going to be cool. I wouldn't be able to do it, not personally. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Make sure you join the Patreon tomorrow, unless you're doing a full year. Make sure you join the Patreon tomorrow. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. It wouldn't surprise me if Amazon starts selling and renting real estate. Truly already does it. Or Zillow. You can go to Zillow right now and they'll be like, hey, we'll offer you this amount in your house immediately, which I think is dumb because you can't offer that on a house sight unseen. I don't know what the process is like, but don't worry, Anton, they got me too. During the Obama era, I was 18 and 22 years old, living on a liberal HBCU campus. Beautiful girls, really. Yeah, the girls will get you to do it anyway. 392Q says, will it be a Carvana kind of thing? And how will this look stock option wise for Amazon or Hertz? eBay has been selling cars for years. Yeah, but even in that, if you've ever bought a car on eBay, a lot of times it's listed on there and you can literally just fly out to go and see it yourself, and then you can actually make an offer right then and there. So it's not always like that. It's a little different on eBay. Like, I actually sold a car on eBay before, back in the early 2000s. Yeah, on the early 2000s. A girl was I had a what was it, like a 83 Malibu, something like that, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s Malibu. And I was moving, right? And so I was moving, and I didn't feel like taking the car with me because it still had some work that I needed to be done on it. And I wound up listing it online, and then a girl from California actually purchased it for her boyfriend because she felt because he said that was the car that he always wanted. So I wound up selling the Malibu online. So as crazy as that sounds. And they flew in, I shipped it, and it was cool. We ran it up. What up to the Magnum Group? Vibes Lounge in the building. I appreciate you for the 50 ball. Says, stepping out on faith, family. I never asked for help, but I bought my Tesla from TrueCar through Uber. I bought my Tesla from TrueCar through Uber. Was great until a tree fell on my house, and immediately things got tight because of insurance and repair process being so cumbersome. This is a SOS. Okay, what is it that you asking me to do? And why are you sending me money? First of all, I need to send you your $50 back because you need all of the dollars that you can get. So I'm trying to understand exactly what that looks like. Was great until a tree fell on my house, and immediately, let me re-put this up here again. And immediately things got tight because of the insurance repair process being so cumbersome. This is a SOA. Okay. What is it that I can do for you? Magnum Group, Vibes Lounge. What is it that I can do for you? What is it that you're looking for? You got to be direct. Before I go into this next story, what is it that you're looking for? How can I help you? You want me to crowdsource funds for a repair? I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't, I'm not going to ask my people to crowdsource funds for a repair. What I can do is I can send you your money back, and I can't do that, bro. I'm not going to ask my people to crowdsource funds for a repair. So I'll tell you what, you can email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com, and I'll send you your 50 back, but I can't do that. That's not what my audience is for. My audience, my bag chasers, that's not what they for, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. That's not what my audience is for. And I understand that you may be going through things, but I can't do that. I'm not going to leverage my audience for every single issue that somebody has. We give from the heart when we see something happening, and we make sure that certain things is taken care of when it makes sense considering the circumstance. But I can't, bro. I can't. So thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. So listen, send me an email. Send me an email, and then I'll make sure that you get your 50 back. All right? I can't leverage my audience like that. I don't even leverage my audience like that. I don't even ask my audience to take care of nothing that I got going on. You know what I'm saying? That's my responsibility. And let me tell you something else. this is what you'll find out about me. If I see somebody going through something and I want to send something because it's from my heart, then that's what I do. But I never say, hey, y'all, I want y'all to do this. I have never in my life ever asked anybody online for money. I've never in my life asked people to come to my help. I've never in my life told people, hey, y'all need to go and support this platform or not support this platform, support this cause or go make sure y'all get this GoFundMe. I've never done that. I've never told people to hit the Cash App. I've never told people y'all need to make sure that y'all send some more super chats. And I've never done that. The thing that I've always said was I appreciate y'all and I appreciate y'all for just tuning in, but I can't. I even shut a live stream down one time because they were sending too many super chats. So, you know what I'm saying? I just don't do that. I don't do that for my platform. I can't do that. So I appreciate you, and there's nothing wrong with asking, but definitely send me an email so I can send you back this 50 because I don't feel comfortable taking that money considering your circumstance. I think you need every dollar that you can get. All right? I asked to borrow money from you last week, Lucky. That's you know that's a lie. You know that's a lie. I ain't never borrowed money from nobody. Carrington Love Jr. says, as they just said, innovation or replace anything except for the transporter. My industry is strong. I was making max profit during the C-19 pandemic. That's a fact. A lot of people got a lot of money during the pandemic. I'm in the auto industry. Amazon is not doing nothing new. Online buy and sell and trade is a huge thing. They just using their brand to get buyers in their marketplace and make baby commissions. Yeah, I could see that. Archangel, Yvette. What up, Yvette? Says we all going through something, some more than others, but to beg like that is nasty work. Yvette ain't never asked me for nothing. And I've always made sure Yvette is taken care of. So shout out to my bag chaser. Shout out to the Patreon members. Make sure y'all join the Patreon tomorrow. Tomorrow is the best day to join the Patreon. If you're looking to rock out with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in, send me that email and I'm going to make sure you're taken care of, big dog. All right? All right, let's rock out. Last thing that I want to talk about, it's crazy that this is coming up right after he sent that, is people over in the Bay Area and the Santa Clara counties experiencing a rise in homelessness. I don't even want to do this story. I'm about to change the story. I'm about to change my story. People are experiencing homelessness in some of the most prominent zip codes over in California. It is exploding. Let's get into it.
It is an eye-opening snapshot of the housing crisis in the South Bay. A new report found that homelessness is rising, but not necessarily in the cities that you might expect. Santa Clara County saw an 8% increase in the homeless population over the last 2 years. According to a January count, nearly 2/3 of the county's unhoused people are living in San Jose, but the numbers there only grew slightly. The report found that major spikes on the west side of the county were happening, and some of the most...
Hold on. Let me say this. I need them graphics. Whatever it is that they got, whatever technology that they have, I want it. All of the stuff popping up out of the ground, the TV showing up with these new graphics, I want it. I want it. Whoever got the graphics, let me know where they come from and let me know where they at. I want them now. I want the graphics. I want the ground graphics. I want the look at all of this. Look at this. I want that. I want the circles. I want everything.
You might expect. Santa Clara County saw an 8% increase in the homeless population over the last 2 years.
I want that. I want all of that. I want all of the graphics. I want the all of that stuff. Wherever the graphics is coming from, give it to me now because I want it. I'm willing to pay for it. Send me the graphics.
According to a January count, nearly 2/3 of the county's unhoused people are living in San Jose, but the numbers there only grew slightly. The report found that major spikes on the west side of the county were happening in some of the most expensive communities in the entire Bay Area. In some cities, the unhoused population more than doubled. Dahlin is in Mountain View with a look at what could be driving that trend in Silicon Valley.
The smaller and more affluent cities in the northern part of Santa Clara County are seeing the biggest spikes in homelessness. Again, these are some of the
AVP. Give me that technology.
Most expensive cities in the Bay Area. Cupertino's number jumped 110% compared to 2 years ago. Palo Alto is up 103%. The city of Santa Clara, 72%. And
that's a lot of people. Palo Alto used to be like the hub. It used to be like the space where everybody wanted to go. I remember when I was coming up, when I used to read about it, Palo Alto was like, oh man, that's where all of the technology companies are. That's where all of the innovation is. That's where all of the startups is. That's where Facebook and Google and all of them, they got offices out there. Now, over in those places, a lot of those companies are leaving and the homelessness is skyrocketing and the revenue is going down significantly. It's crazy. Mountain View, California is actually where the Google headquarters is. Google's headquarters is in Mountain View, California. I actually went and visited one time. Santa Clara, it's up 56% over there. Palo Alto up 103%, 72%. Cupertino, 110%. That's crazy.
And here in Mountain View, homelessness is up 56%. A drive down Mountain View's Lake Horn Street. It's hard to miss the RVs lined up here and on nearby streets.
Premium Honey says, Anton, you on mute. No, I'm not. Is there something wrong with your speakers? I ain't on mute at all.
Here for 2 years, maybe 20,
Look at that.
25.
Look, when y'all riding down the street and you see all of those RVs, that's how you know that a community is messed up. When you're riding down the street and you see those RVs and you see pickup trucks and vans, minivans, Astro vans, Honda Odysseys, all of that stuff, when y'all see that type of stuff, it is a sign that so many people are living in their cars. All of these people that you see and them driving down the street, and if you start seeing blue tarps because they got leaks in their roof and they can't fix it, so they just throw the blue tarp over it, that's all homelessness. See, people think that homelessness looks like people just walking down the street vagrant, vagabond. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I have $1. I need to catch it. And all homeless people say the same thing. All people, especially if they own that dope. If they own dope, if they own heroin, or if they own that Fenty, they all say the same thing. Always have a cup. Have a cup. And it always shake. They say. They either do that, meaning that I need some money to get something to eat. A lot of times they just want to hurry up and go and get some more dope. That's just the honest to God truth. Or they'll be like, and they say some wild number every single time. They say a wild number. Trust me, I've dealt with homeless people. I know all of the tricks of the trade. I need $1.26. Man, what you need $1.26 for? Because they don't want you to give them a straight dollar, right? Or they don't want you to give them 30 cents. And they know that you don't have $1.26, right? So they want to get the biggest denomination up. An extra $2 or $3 or a $5 bill because they know you ain't got no $1.26. And they want to act crazy. Nigga, you ain't crazy. What you want? I need $1.26. What you need $1.26 for? Trying to catch the bus. I'm just a little bit short. Got me. Extra for food, too. Stanley. It's one of my homeless homies that I got on the street. Stanley, man, what you doing, bro? You knew I was coming here, didn't you? They don't say nothing. They just smile. He ain't got no teeth at the bottom. Stanley, stop smiling. I got you, big dog. They always hit you with this every single time. I said, Stanley, man, why you keep playing this game? I said, what if I'm not gonna be here tomorrow? Stanley, stop acting like you about to cry. You ain't even got no cries left in you. I said, all right, Stanley, I got you. Give you a couple. All right, this for the day, this for tomorrow, man. Be careful. And don't spend it all. Be careful, Stanley. but you got to kind of give it to them. When you give money to homeless people, let me give y'all the game. When you give money to homeless people, you can't give it to them in front of all of their homies, because two things is going to happen. A, you actually make it dangerous for them, because homeless people go through a lot, bro. I've been working with homeless people for a long time, man. Homeless people, they go through a lot. They get their shoes taken. They get their bikes stolen from their homies. They own homeboy will come and steal their shoes off their feet while they sleeping at night. So you kind of make them a target sometimes when you give them too much money. So they be trying to hurry up and get it around the corner. Or sometimes when you give them some money, they'll hurry up and get up and go because they don't want everybody to know that they got some money from you, right? They're trying to keep that in-house. So A, you can make them a target. And then B, what'll also happen is you'll start seeing a horde. It's like a zombie horde. All start coming at the same time. Because if they see you give something to him, especially if it's a significant amount, what about me? I'm always right here. You skipped past me last time. I'm like, okay. All right, Mabel. Go ahead and get yours, Mabel. So you got to know the rules of the game. Y'all gonna go out here, get your car mob, you know what I'm saying? You got to know the rules of the game. But over there in California, it's a little bit different. Over there in California, it's a little bit different because everybody is van life. Everybody is van life in California. The more prominent people, right? They could even be making $100,000 a year. They're sleeping in their Teslas. The women sleep in their Teslas over in California. Asian women sleep in their Teslas in California because they're trying to save money for a house. A lot of times they be having a good job, and so they sleep in their Teslas. Then you're going to deal with the couples, right? Usually it's a white man with wild hair and a white woman holding them down. That's the one thing I will say about white women, white homeless women. White unhoused women, white snow bunnies will hold down a man. They are holding them down. Most of the time they'll have some kind of wet dog. They got a wet dog smell to them, and they just be holding them down. They hold them down. Like, ooh, y'all so loyal to each other. Homeless marriages and homeless relationships actually last longer than regular relationships. A lot of people didn't know that. Shout out to you, Seven. You bumped into me out there. Shout out to you, bro. You the best out here. Homeless relationships actually last longer. Like, they take their vows to each other much more serious than y'all. That's how I know that y'all not really what y'all supposed to be doing out here. Don't worry. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to explain it to you in a minute.
On Mountain View's Lake Horn Street, it's hard to miss the RVs lined up here and on nearby streets.
We stay here for 2 years, maybe 20, 25 RVs. Now it's 70, 75 more. The people in the San Jose or East Palo Alto or Redwood City coming here.
Ruben El Mazo was one of the first RV dwellers on Lake Horn Street. He says most of the new
And as funny as it is, if they hated the RV dweller people, the van life people, they can't stand when people catch a wave of what they got going on because they feel like they found a new spot. Oh man, I'm an RV guy. Ain't nobody gonna bother me because it's a quiet street. And if they get to stay there for a week or two, it's like, oh man, I found a new spot. I'm good. I'm straight. When another one, they see a van life person living on that street and they park in another spot, they hate it. They absolutely hate it because it's like you blowing up the spot, dog. Because if every other person that's living van life or living RV life come on the street, then it's going to bring more visibility to it and the neighbors is going to get mad. Y'all going to mess it up. You doodling in the bushes. You keep pissing over there on the neighbor's lawn. You doing meth in the alley. Now y'all messing it up for everybody. So van life in California is an art. It is an art. It is 100% an art form. They don't like, because a lot of times if they get van life there long enough, their vehicle will actually stop working. And so they just make that their home And then they can complain to the county and say, oh man, you displacing us. I've been here for years. You never should have been there in the first place, right? Van life is an art in California. It is absolutely a competition.
Showed up within the last year. He often reminds them to follow their rules so everyone can stay longer. That means no visible traffic.
Told you. I haven't seen this. I'm reacting to it in the real time. He's prompting. He was the first there, and he's telling, hey, listen, if y'all gonna come there, he becomes a homeowner association for van life. Hey, man, if y'all gonna come over here, y'all gonna have to start following the rules because y'all gonna make it hot for us. Every time. I'm telling you, it's an art.
And no blocked sidewalks.
It's for the people, see everything is clean, no have complain. I talk to the other persons, hey, you know, you need it clean, you need it nothing to stop outside, respect for everyone.
His experience matches the county's latest point-in-time count report. It shows Mountain View's homeless population jumped from 562 in 2023 to 879 in January 2025.
There's nothing more, the nicest people you will ever meet. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm giving y'all the game. The nicest people that you will ever meet is the people that are not supposed to be there. When you are there, when you're supposed to be there and you know what you can do, it's almost like, it's like a person that gets pulled over. When I get pulled over, right, I got like a little bit of patience. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, I know I got my license. I know I got my registration and insurance. My car ain't hot. And I got money and I got a lawyer to beat whatever it is that you got going on, right? So you got a little bit of patience. You roll your window down. You put your hands on your steering wheel. Turn the light on. Well, hey, what's going on, officer? Oh, man, you know what? Whatever. But then if they start lecturing you, then that's when you start getting a little bit, I've been getting a little Hollywood lately. I can't lie to y'all. I'm going to say, what now? You hear this thing? You hear him? You hear him over here? That's the warning that you have for the police officer when they start wanting to exert authority, but you don't fit the profile of an authoritarian person that can exert authority over you. So at first you're nice to him. Hey, listen, do you know you were speeding? Oh man, I missed it, but you know, it's not a big deal. You know, cool. I understand what I did, officer. Awesome. Because, you know, it's a lot of pedestrians over here. And so we can't have this. We got a zero top. Then that's when you start. Oh, man. You hear this? You hear him over here? Hey, somebody talk to him. Somebody talk to him. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. Rita just called me yesterday. It's the honest to God truth. Rita called me yesterday and with my lawyer on the phone. And he said, Anton, I got the body cam footage. Honest to God. That is on everything. Honest to God. Rita said, I have the lawyer. He's on the other line. And he said, Anton, I got the body cam footage. Do I need to watch this or should we just take the deal that they offered us? I said, what's the deal? He said, well, they offered no points, but they want to, you know, charge you this or whatever. So I said, don't watch the body cam footage. Just send it to me. Send me my body cam footage. Don't watch it. Take the deal, and we're gonna make it do what it do. That's the honest to God truth. Rita said, cause, man, it started getting extra. Hey, because they start lecturing. You see this? Hey, and then I said, hey, man, hey, I don't want to hear that shit, bro. I'm sorry. This is the Millionaire Morning Show. I forgot. Man, I don't want to hear that, bro. Just give me my ticket, man. And then they'd be like this, what? Man, I'll take your car. I'll be like, that's cool. And I'll take your job. And then I'm going to get my car tomorrow. And then I'm going to get another car today. Man, listen, who you talking to? And then his partner, man, Anton, calm down, man. I know who you are, Anton. Hey, man, you need to talk to your partner over here. Man, I'll impound your car. I'll impound your job. And then I'm going to get my car back tomorrow, and then I'm going to buy another one the next day. Who you talking to? Anton, just chill out. Just relax. All right, man. Hey, man, get your mans, man. Get your partner over here, bro. Y'all want to see the body cam? All right, I'll get you the body cam footage. I'll get you the body cam. I went to Hollywood a little bit. I said, you know what, Anton? Go back to who you are. Stop being so belligerent. Have a shorter fuse. Chill out. Don't do too much. I'll show y'all. Maybe I'll show you. I gotta determine whether I want that to be public or not. Because I be having a lot of haters out here, and they be want to react. The bigger you get, the more higher your platform get, the more they want to react to you. I don't know what that is. So they trying to get their views up. Shout out to all of y'all that want to get y'all views up. I feel you. Shout out to you.
Ruben and others say sky-high rents in Silicon Valley pushed them out.
For one room or one apartment is very expensive. It's $3,500. Crazy.
Mountain View is one of the most expensive places to live in the United States, and that would be one of the most expensive places to live in the entire world.
Mountain View Mayor Ellen Kamei says encampment sweeps in San Jose have pushed more people here. She also says the city offers more homeless services compared to other small cities. That's drawing even more people to stay.
In Mountain View, that's why we're seeing an increase in vehicles. We're one of the few cities that allow people to be able to park on our city streets.
The city has since added more safe parking lots for RVs. They're also working with the county and state to add more shelter beds and permanent low-income housing.
So we have about 5
permanent low-income housing. Okay.
Projects in the pipeline, working to get the last bit of funding to become online, but they're already council approved.
Ruben hopes to move into one of those units.
Look, they start getting comfortable. Now they putting plants on the back of their RVs in front of your house. I can't do it. Mrs. Amazing wife says, don't do it, AD. We got political race. Okay, you're right, Miss Amazing. I agree with you. I agree. Maybe I'm making a Patreon exclusive. Look, they start putting plants. You start seeing plants. No, man, listen, bro. Listen, bro, you got to go. Because nobody, and again, I'm telling y'all, nobody is better to work with than somebody that's not supposed to be where they supposed to be. Y'all ever dealt with a person that was squatting next door or a homeless person? Yeah, man, no. Let me know if you need anything. I'll sweep up the front and everything will be good and we all set. Dang, that's because you're not supposed to be here and you don't want no visibility. You're trying to make peace with the neighbors. Putting plants on the back of your car in a Home Depot bucket. Man, get the heck out of here, bro.
He's on disability, but works part-time as a janitor to save money for an apartment.
Put the money in the bank, 2 or 3 years, come back in one apartment or one house.
The county report also found many people who are newly homeless. Those surveyed most often blame losing a job. Others cited a divorce or breakup as the reason they ended up on the street.
Ain't that sad? Losing a job, divorce, or breakup. Gosh, what have we become? Losing a job, a divorce, or a breakup is some of the number one reasons that people go homeless. Losing a job, divorce, or breakup. Can't tell you how many guys that went and lived in their car because they done lost everything in a divorce. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Is the doctor here yet? Let me see. He's supposed to be coming at 3 o'clock. It's 2:30. I know you're going to want a urine sample. I've been trying to hold this in for a little bit now. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Anton reminder, 3 p.m. appointment. You can park in spot. I got a new security too downstairs too, so that might be a little bit different. All right. I thought that it was a great show. A little shorter than usual because I got an appointment to deal with, but I thought it was a great show. You know what I'm saying? Divorce would definitely. You went through it, Kenjay? How many of y'all actually went through a breakup? How many of y'all went through a breakup where it actually hurt you financially? How many of y'all went through a breakup where it hurt you financially? I'm curious to see that. Let me read some of these super chats. By the way, I'm walking and driving now. Shout out to my girl Yvette. I knew you was gonna make it through. I knew you was gonna make it through. He still ain't paid me my money for when the Bills decimated the Lions back in December 2000. How much I owe you? I owe you some money? Tell me how much I owe you. Wow, a lot of y'all. Really? I'm divorced. Me. I did. Gone Postal. Chris Evans. Eric Wealth Harris. Jesus. Jody. You did, baby girl? U.S. Navy, Mac American Vet. Mika's chair sniffer went through it. Wow. Jeez. You lost $100,000 on a breakup, David? Corey P says, I'm petrified of a divorce. I seen somebody speculating on what platform is that? It wasn't on YouTube, it was on another platform. Somebody was speculating, they were saying, Anton, like they were speculating on what it would cost me if I was to ever get a divorce. And I'm like, why are they speculating about that? I actually have a post-nuptial agreement. Yep, I got married at 22 years old. I have a post-nuptial agreement and I'm good. So I think that everybody should have a prenuptial agreement. And if you can, especially if y'all in a good space, right? If you're in a really, really good space, get you a post-nuptial agreement. All right? Get a prenup. Prenups are for you and for them. It's not just so you can keep your stuff. It's to protect everybody. Or get a post-nuptial agreement if you got married younger and you want to be very, very clear of what you want life to look like, hypothetically speaking, if anything was to ever happen. All right? Yep. Got a post-nup. I have a post-nup. A lot of guys don't have a prenup. And it just makes things easier. It makes things much, much easier. Corey P says, can those things be thrown out? Very unlikely, because one of the things that you have to do, let me give you all a little bit of game. One of the things that you have to do is you have to ensure that they have their own lawyer. And so even if y'all are, obviously y'all not on bad terms or whatever, but you have to have them have their own lawyer, and then your lawyer works with their lawyer to draft a post-nuptial agreement or a prenuptial agreement that lists all of the assets, and then it clearly defines what would happen in the event that y'all was to ever go y'all separate ways. But you can't just hand them a piece of paper and say, hey man, sign this. No, they have to have their own lawyer. They have to work with it. Your lawyer have to work with their lawyer. They have to be clear. They obviously, you know what I'm saying? All of that type of stuff. Make sure that they don't say nothing negative about you. If anything was to ever happen, all of that stuff. Yep, get you one. Rage Kings Leo says they leave me, they get nothing. Is that because you don't have nothing, or is that because you're being selfish? Miria says I wouldn't sign anything after the fact. Hell no. Well, then that means you shouldn't be in a relationship. Listen, what you don't understand is that it is protection for everybody, right? It's protection for them and it's protection for you. Wouldn't you want to be very, very clear about what happens in the event? Like, you don't have to be dusty. Hello?
Hey there, Anton. This is Jason with the Pistons.
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much. I wanted to do two things, just quick check with you, make sure you're ready for the season, and then also let you know about an event happening next week if you have a second.
Yeah, sure. What happened to my other guy? I had a guy. What happened to my other rep? He got fired or something?
No, not at all. You just you have a sales rep, and then after you have a sales rep, you get like transitioned over to the service side.
Oh, so he's still there?
Yeah, I think so. Who was your guy?
I don't remember what his name was, but
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I don't think anyone's left anytime recently. So yeah, I'll double check on it. But you also have that person as well as a resource. So feel free to use me or use him.
okay. So what is this call regarding?
One, just make sure that you're set up and you got everything you need for the season. Get your tickets loaded up and feeling good there. And see if you got any questions in regards to that. Since we're about a little less than a month away.
Yep, everything is all set.
And then two, we are hosting a private dinner for our.
Oh, okay. Sounds pretty intimate. All right, so look, can I call you back in like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, because I'm about to do this doctor's appointment, and then I could try to figure out what that looks like on my calendar.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll text you the details, and if you can make it, we can have you. If not, no biggie. But just let me know.
Okay, cool. Is this your number? I'm gonna lock you in.
You know what? I'll text you from a number that's better to go back and forth. And this is like my desk line. I'll text you from my cell phone.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, thanks, man.
All right, bye. All right. Some dinner, another dinner. They always invite me to some dinner or to meet somebody or to be with somebody or to hang out with somebody. Nah, listen, real talk. It's to protect them too. Women, if y'all was smart, y'all would actually get them so that you're not confused as to what happens and you're very clear, and then you can focus on building and having a good time in your relationship instead of focusing on whether or not you want to get something from somebody. It could be very clear. All right. It could be very, very clear. You're not automatically married. You're not automatically married. I mean, you're not automatically covered, Maria. You're not automatically married at all. I mean, you're not automatically covered. See, you don't really understand. I'm not going to explain it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to do it at all. Matter of fact, maybe I'll add that as a subject that we can talk about. I'll add that as a subject that maybe we'll go over. You're not being smart. You're not a smart one. At all. Not smart at all. But I could see that you opportunistic. Usually women that are overly opportunistic, they get less than they would have gotten if anything was to ever happen. Women that are opportunistic and say stuff like that, they get less than they would have gotten had they not been like this. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, we'll deep dive into it, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing because it allows for y'all to focus more on building instead of being focused on all of the other stupid stuff that goes along with it. So, and women that were smart, they would go in and they would say, all right, well, if anything was to ever happen, this is what I would want. This is what I would want. And this is what makes sense for me. And usually the guy, because she's being amicable, would say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I can see that. I want to make sure that you're taken care of for the rest of your life and all of this stuff. And so you get set up. Why would I not want the mother of my child, if anything was to ever happen, not be taken care of? You know what I'm saying? Then y'all also, because it's not just that. You also work on your will. You work on your trusts. You make sure that your daughter is set up for the rest of their life if anything was to ever happen. And so you basically just cover all bases. It's not just a post-nuptial agreement. It would also be all the documentation to ensure that everything and everyone is taken care of. But see, so focused on you, and people that are not selfish, they want you to be successful, right? I want everybody around me to be successful. And that is the type of woman that you run from, because a woman should want a man to be great and a man should want a woman to be awesome and taken care of also. That me jump, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. Correct. Exactly, Azriel. It cover healthcare. It cover everything. Covers everything. Estate planning. Everything should be covered. Everything should be covered. But this is a grown folks conversation, because when children talk about it, they look at it from a duress perspective. When grown folks take care of things, they doing it from the lens of they've seen, like I've seen what happened when my father passed away, and then getting all of those tax bills, and then I had to cover all of the tax bills, and it just didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? It was something else to deal with, more difficult, like a difficult situation, because everybody was grieving, and then you start having to deal with paperwork and all of that stuff. You want to get all of your affairs in order before you ever find yourself in that type of situation. Hypothetically, if that was to ever happen. You know what I'm saying? So grown people take care of business. Children's, or people with children, a children's mindset, they react talking about me, and being emotional. All right. Absolutely. Anyways, great show today. Let me give you all a round of applause. Got to take care of business before you get to the love. Shout out to you. Let me know, Magnetar. Send me an email or DM. Dark Spartacus says, give a man a fish, feed for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for life. That's a fact. Self-Made Forever says, we got women out here calling abusive, cheating men good men, and we got Amazon about to make Carvana into a blockbuster. Another L for mankind, another step towards automation. Christopher Evans says, I've been homeless twice in my life, and it ain't fun. Sleeping in your car is scary sometimes, but I always kept a job through it all. Sleeping in the car is dangerous too. People can rob you while you sleep. Magnum says, yeah, I did. I seen the email. I got your email. Is that Bill Duke interview coming? I haven't heard anything back, so I gotta follow up on that. That channel about to be a platinum. Let me see what the channel is at before we get off of here. Lost $60,000 on the house down payment. Left with just my work. Oh my God. Yeah, y'all got to protect yourself. And then they'll call you a narcissist for making sure that you protect. Oh, it was a joke, Magnetar. All right. They'll call you a narcissist for protecting yourself. Let me see what these numbers is at before we get up out of here and wrap it up. How far away are we? Honestly, I think that the Millionaire Morning Show might get there before the Anton Daniels channel. I do. I think that the Millionaire Morning Show might get there before the Anton Daniels channel, bro. I do. I think so. I really do. So this is the Millionaire Morning Show. Let me show you the differences between the two. So the Millionaire Morning Show is at 397,000. I thought it was going to be the Anton Daniels channel. Millionaire Morning Show is at 397,588 subscribers. So I'm thinking that that's going to get to 400 because it's only less than 2,500 subscribers away, but it's not growing at as fast of a pace as the Anton Daniels channel. And then if I go over to the Anton Daniels channel, After Hours is not going to get there. That's only at 95.6. And if I go over to the Anton Daniels channel, yeah, I think the Millionaire Morning Show is going to get it all day long. All day long. And that's at 983. So we're 16.5, about 16,500 away. But that's growing at about 120,000 every 28 days at 78 million views and 2.9 million watch hours. So I don't know. It's going to be close. It's going to be really, 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 really close. Really, really close. So it should be interesting. But honestly, I think that next year, the Millionaire Morning Show is going to take off. I think that next year, the Millionaire Morning Show is going to take off. I think MMS is next up. I think MMS is next. And we got some updates and some upgrades that we're making at the end of the year too. So should be interesting. All right. Antonio Watkins says, didn't both channels cross 100,000 at the same time? Yep. As crazy as that sounds. Absolutely. Well, looks like my doctor is here. All right, my concierge doctor is here. All right, y'all. Listen, we love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to rock out. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace. Oh, let me read one more super chat. After hours is tonight. Tabby, what up, Tabby? Says, truly love you, Anton. You are one of a kind. Thank you, Tabby. I appreciate you. Thank you, baby. All right. After hours tonight. Should be good conversations. We're going to talk about all of this stuff that we talked about today. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.